Hey guys, Wardenator here. I'm just making an update video. Some people were that I've been talking to lately on YouTube have been expecting me to make a video of this tank. Now what happened was I redid this tank, but it was basically a rush and I didn't have the substrate I wanted. And I had mixed dirt in with my fluorite, and what happened was I ended up just destroying my tank. A bunch of stuff everywhere. I tried cutting corners and it just didn't work out. I thought it would work out, but it didn't. So here is the update of my new 25 gallon. This was to replace my 20 gallon that was old and leaky. So I was actually looking for a 20 long, and I guess here in Canada it's a bit of a pain in the ass to get a 20 long, unless you have it made custom for you, or you order it from the States. So I ended up finding a 25 gallon. This is kind of longer, so it ended up being a tank that I ended up liking actually after a while. After I set it up the first time, I liked the size of it, and yeah, it didn't turn out. So I had it maybe running for 2 weeks, and yesterday I pulled it all apart again and redid it this way. Now, sorry if I'm stuttering or mumbling here. It's been a while. I get nervous when I make videos, so that's kind of why I talk funny. And I breathe a little heavy because I'm always nervous making videos for some reason. But this is Fluval Stratum, and this is what I've wanted to go with for a long time because I have it in my 2.5 gallon. It's dirted a little bit on the bottom on the 2.5, and it grows plants immaculately. Now, I know this isn't anything special at the moment. Like, I just started all these guys, but my favorite thing about doing this is after about 3-4 weeks, you start to see what goes on in your tank when your plants start pulling up. I'm trying the Java moss in this one with this light. I don't know, it never seems to work in any other tank, but this one over here, now this is just my plant tank. I've got about 1 million guppies in here. I gotta clean this out. I did a water change on it yesterday because this thing's just filled with guppies. And usually it's a pretty gorgeous tank, but it's starting to get algae and stuff. I've got way too many inhabitants in here. I'm gonna take these guys down to the fish store right away. And yeah, get rid of a few of these guys. And once you got females in mixed with males, you get this. Like, look at how many fish are in here. Excuse the glass, I didn't wipe this tank off. I gave it a water change last night just so things are a little fresher in here. But this one is my plant tank. I just grow plants in it. Java fern grows in here like crazy. I throw crips in here every now and then. They like this. This is fluorite sand that's been on the bottom of this tank, and I don't know, for some reason plants always just grow just retarded in here. I can put anything in here and watch it grow. If you got plants that are in trouble, I throw them in here and they always bounce back in this tank. But it's starting to get a little hideous here because I got way too many guys in here, and you know, I got to put in lots of food, and then the snails end up eating the food, so they don't come out to clean the glass, and yada 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 yada. So anyway, this is my plant growing tank with my little 10 gallon I've had going forever. Usually looks better, but this has been my main focus lately, and I don't have my big 66 gallon running anymore, so this is kind of my bedroom deal that I'm doing, and I wanted to do it really nice, so I tried some of the Java moss in here. I got some crips going down there a little bit. I'm going to throw those guys in there and see how well they do in here. I still don't know what the heck this plant is, but it grows like just so good. Doesn't matter, high or low light, it likes to grow. This is Ludwigia. For some reason here, my Ludwigia in this tank, in this water, the type of water I have here where I live, this likes to grow up, and then it'll fan out a bunch of different ways and it'll grow over. And I've seen other people's Ludwigia. This is exactly the same plant. They just grow like stems straight up, and you can plant a whole bunch of them and then have like this grassy looking forest looking thing there. And yeah, it seems to grow different in different regions, so I don't know. I'm here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and I've seen certain type of even sword plants that I put in here. You got the Amazon swords with the round leaves on the end of them. I plant them in the water here, and then they turn out to look like that sword back there. They'll fold back, and then they'll grow long pointy leaves like this. So depending on the, I guess, the lighting and stuff, or the growing, or the water hardness, maybe that's what I'm thinking changes some of the plant's characteristics. So I've noticed that with other plants. They grow different in other people's tanks. I plop them in my tank and they fold back, and then they pop up as something different looking. The same plant but different looking, so I don't know. Anyway, enough of my babbling here. So this is what I've got so far. This is, I'm going to see what happens with all of this. I finally have the substrate that I wanted. I got rid of the fluorite. I had fluorite mixed with dirt. If you don't bury the dirt really good with fluorite, it becomes a pain in the ass. If you try to mix it up after and stir it up, because it does get anaerobic quick. I found that mixing it up, it just leaves a lot of dirt right on the top. I tried vacuuming it to get down to the fluorite again to have it mixed, and that was the problem I was having last time because I rushed it. So, and sorry for my camera work. I'm just working with a little camera here. I'm trying to keep it, you know, pretty much steady for you guys. I don't want to babble on too much, but anyway, I was talking to some people. They were expecting to see this tank up earlier, probably about 2 weeks ago. They probably thought, you know, this guy's a liar. He's not gonna make any videos. But anyway, people, here they are. I popped him in there right now just to have this tank cycling. I'm just gonna leave the one fish in this tank, and what I plan to have is smaller fish, and I would love shrimp in this tank once it, well, you know, once I get it to where I want it. But I'm gonna make another video in a couple weeks of this tank. Now it was nice and crystal clear last night. Ever since I put the fish in, it got murky, so it's gonna take 2 or 3 days to really clear up. And another big thing about this tank for me was this is my first underwater filtration unit, so I bought a Fluval U2, and it's got a plant setting on it pretty much for flow. And I'm gonna try a lower flow tank. This has got a nice gentle flow to it. I don't know if you guys can see all those little particulates moving and the little cloud of stuff moving. That's kind of how gentle the flow is. Let's see if I can get up close to the glass. You can just get an idea with that cloudiness in there of the flow. And yeah, I noticed there's, you know, some plants that have different flow, or like different flow. These ones have always been under like a heavy type of flow, and I'm just wondering, I've had problems with the Ludwigia here in high flow areas where it gets really dirty, and algae likes to cling to it, or blackbeard stuff. So I'm just going to try a tank with some lower flow and see what happens with some of these plants. I'm always experimenting with them. I always have these 3 main plants anyway because they grow so rampant in my other tanks. I'm surprised I had any crypts left. I haven't seen them for a long time, but they were in my other tank. I found a couple here, so I plopped them in there. I'm going to go to the store and buy some different plants. I would like to try some Rotella in here, because I've never had any Rotella, so I'm going to try that. And I like Java ferns, and I'm going to go find some Java fern from my local store and put some in here, maybe up on top of the wood. Because if you can get it to stick to wood, it grows really cool on stuff when you got driftwood in your tanks. So yeah, I'm just going to try some different things. And this is my 25 gallon. I know it's not a 20 long, but I like this tank anyway. It will suffice. This is kind of my little setup that I got going on right now. And I'm going to make another video of this tank and see just how much it's going to pop in the next, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm going to take care of it. I've done ferts right off the bat. Like I said, I just set this up yesterday, and this is how it's looking so far. And I'd like to do another video without all this cloudiness in there. So about 2-3 days now, she'll clear up. And like I said, I'm not going to make another video for another couple weeks, but this is what I got so far, people. If anybody's interested. And yeah, for the rest of you guys out there that are doing planted tanks, good luck to you. I love doing this. And yeah, I guess we'll catch you later. Alright, ciao.